Hi, Atlantis Scalar and Channeling Eric community. I just wanted to take a little bit of time today to send this testimonial regarding Elisa and Eric's work for me over the past 4+ years with Atlantis Scalar. Years ago, when I was going through a bit of depression, not just a bit, let's just call it what it is, a lot of depression. I was seeking and searching to find some understanding as to what I was going through. I was able to come across Channeling Eric, and from there I did a deep dive and learned so much about the metaphysical, about the spiritual realm, about what incarnation in this lifetime meant, and bit by bit, also how to weather the storm, to stay in my so-called skin within this incarnation, though during that time I was going through a dark night of the soul, as they call it. During that time period, I had an encounter with Eric, which actually happened before I stumbled across the Channeling Eric platform. Very, very vivid dream with a spirit entity that looked exactly like Eric. It was a wonderful dream. Eric, as I believe it was, took me through different dimensions, different planes, just showing me the spiritual realm. And I also felt that through that experience, got some type of emotional and spiritual healing, having awakened from that very, very vivid, tangible dream state. And at the time that I was still in the dark night of the soul, it gave me a little bit of spiritual buoyancy to keep persevering forward. Shortly thereafter is when I found Channeling Eric, and as you can imagine, my surprise in seeing the pictures on the Channeling Eric page, which was the same exact embodiment and picture of the spirit, which weeks and months prior had visited me in my dream state and took me on such an electrifying journey spiritually that had my soul buoyant and carried me for weeks and a month or so prior to my finding Channeling Eric. So it was, shall I say, written in the books that I would stumble upon Channeling Eric and, of course, Atlantis Scalar later. So that's a little bit of the background. The reason why I'm actually doing this particular video is because of the recent work that Elisa had done for me. Actually, this is the second go-round of this particular work. So let me backstep again. After, finding Channeling Eric and all that, during my dark night of the soul and depression, the heavens, my guardian angels and spirit guides, what have you, impressed upon me to get a pet. So I had gone to a non-kill shelter for pets, and I initially went there to get a dog, but prior to my exit, I said, let me go walk through the cat room, and there was this boisterous, beautiful black and gold cat that I had locked eyes with. It was like a cat room with maybe 20, 30 cats. I went in there and sat down, and this boisterous cat came and literally sat on my lap, started to purr, and I petted her, and needless to say, I took her home with me. She has and had been such a joy to me over the years. She's 9 years old now. When I got her, she was around 1.5, 2 years old. Her materializing in my life, like I said, I went there to get a dog, didn't bond with any, and came home with a cat. 9 years later, here I am. She gave me a reason to live during that dark night of the soul. Like I said, around the same time I found channeling Eric. She was something in my life that gave me purpose to take care of, to be a companion, to think of outside of myself. So things like suicidal ideation and those dark thoughts, though they at the time were still there, through her companionship and presence in my solo life at the time, gave me a reason to live, somebody to feed, somebody to care for, somebody to watch after, some beautiful living soul in a pet to love me unconditionally, and for me also to learn unconditional love of something outside of myself. As the years progressed, hence why I'm making this video. And as she got older, I started to see her kind of dwindling down with her energy. You know, for those of you pet owners, particularly cat owners, you know, sometimes they get the zoomies, they run around, you know, scurry around and just have all this pent up energy that just comes out in bursts. So as the years progressed, those type of outbursts began waning to the point where I actually started to see in her name's Coffee, by the way, a bit of depression. So like I told you, when I originally got her, I just stumbled upon pet ownership. Like I said, went for a dog, ended up with a cat, not knowing that it's best to get 2 cats at a time instead of 1. So over the 5, 6, 7 years that I had her, and she, you know, was a companion to me, bringing me out of the depression, over time, I started seeing a lot of loneliness in her, depressive behaviors, I don't even know how to explain it, but when you know your animal, when you know your pet, you can see the different highs and lows in their behavior. So I did some research, found out where I went wrong, that I didn't, you know, get a companion for her out the gate. And then I went searching for a companion for her. And subsequently now, I'm the proud owner of 2 cats. So the secondary cat I got for a companion for her is a boy and 2 years old, versus Coffee, my longtime cat companion. She's 9. So let's say maybe I made another faux pas. Probably should have gotten another cat closer to her age, maybe the same gender, but you know, here we are. I recently reached out to Elisa again. I did so about a year ago, asking her to do a pet, you know, youthfulness, regeneration. Again, as I'm making this video, I can't remember exactly what the service is called, but it's just to revive and energize and bring back the youth in your pet. And that's what I did for Coffee. I tell you, she, not even a day after I got the email response from Elisa saying done, that the energy work was done, again, she just started being more rambunctious. I know it sounds kind of silly, but the other newer cat that I got to be a companion to her, that used to kind of bully her a little bit, instead of scurrying away when that newer cat would want to play with her or to chase her, and she used to just scurry away, hide under the bed, you know, be upstairs under the bed for hours and hours at a time, wouldn't come out like she used to, even prior to me getting the companion cat. Like I said, she was showing depressive tendencies. But as soon as Elisa completed the youthful work for my pet, Coffee, the cat, 9-year-old cat, she just started strutting and she always purred, but she just became more visible in the house. She commanded her space. She just was more loving. She started the zoomies again at her ripe old age of 9, started zooming back and forth and chasing the little cat toys, and just was the original baby cat that I remember in all her energy and buoyancy, to the point where now, ironically enough, now the newer companion cat, she chases him around. She marks her territory. It's so cute. It's just night and day, literally. Let's say, hypothetically, on a Monday, Elisa sent me the email saying, done. That next day, Tuesday, she started just prancing, zooming. By the end of that week, let's say Friday or Saturday, she was just tail in the air, purring, prancing, just, I don't even have the adjectives to describe it, but this is my loving baby cat, re-energized, reinvigorated. And I will continue periodically, maybe once a year, year and a half, as the heavens will it. I will continue to do this reworking for my beautiful, beautiful baby cat, Coffee. Maybe not a baby anymore, little old lady or growing old middle-aged lady, but she is my sunshine. We've come through so much together, and I just thank Elisa, I thank Eric, I thank Atlantis Scalar, and the Channeling Eric platform that introduced me to Eric and Elisa, and subsequently Atlantis Scalar. You all are my bedrock. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me, and in this particular testimonial, my precious, precious Coffee.